show you the little document here. Let's put this in the middle. Boom. So this is what we're talking about today, is how do we get back on track and as soon as we possibly can whenever we fall off track. So, you know, with the kids going back to school, with summer ending, schedules changing, habits have kind of taken a hit. Some of the things that we've been doing consistently, maybe we're not doing so much anymore, especially with the nutrition and the mindset stuff. So I wanted to kind of go over the best way, or at least in my opinion, what I do to help me get back on track whenever I fall off with things. This happened just a couple weeks ago. So first, whenever you do fall off track, it's very important to acknowledge it. Don't try and convince yourself that you're still doing everything fine that you're supposed to when you know you're not. Don't try to lie to yourself. Just acknowledge that you fell off, own it, and move on. Don't beat yourself up over it for falling off track. That's the first and most important thing. Everybody wants to get really mad at themselves after they fall off track, and it's very counterproductive. All you do is waste a bunch of valuable mental energy and emotion on negativity. So that's first. Just don't beat yourself up for all falling off track. Next, we want to stop procrastinating. So what I mean is, usually when we fall off track, it's really easy to start just piling on the things that we know we need to do, the things that used to be just daily habits that we didn't think about or that we were kind of working on. We just start adding them to our to-do list that we're going to do later. And it ends up becoming this giant list of things that we never do. Instead of taking action, we start the whole process of procrastinating again, which is one of the things we were working on in the first place, is just taking action instead of not taking action. So that's the second thing, is stop procrastinating when it comes to, once you've acknowledged that you've fallen off track, take action right now, today, to get yourself back on track. So how do we do that? Well, next, kind of wanted to reiterate the first thing. Don't wallow in your own self-pity. You're not benefiting from it. And avoid any negative self-talk. Telling yourself you suck, telling yourself you're dumb, telling yourself, you know, you're never going to stick with it. Anything that isn't positive about what's happening is very useless and, again, a waste of mental energy and emotion. So now, to help ourselves get right back on track, here's the steps that I take. It's 4, 5, and 6. Well, really just 4 and 5, and then 6 is a mental thing. But you want to write down one thing, and you want it to be really, really easy that you can do for the next 3 days, and that's going to be your focus. It's going to be something that's progressing you towards your goal. You want it to be simple because you're already at a point of feeling like you're overwhelmed, you've fallen off track, you're kind of feeling bad about yourself, you're not the most motivated. So we want to pick something pretty easy, like drinking all your water or simply tracking your food. Something super easy that you can control, that you can do for 3 days in a row. Once you've done that for 3 days in a row, then you add in another habit that you were working on when you felt off track. So like if you do 3 days in a row and you drink all your water like you're supposed to, now on day 4, it's like, okay, now I'm going to think and focus on my protein again. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 days in a row of water, and now day 4, I'm going to add protein. I'm still going to keep my water, but I'm going to add my protein to that goal. Okay, then if I do that day 4, day 5, okay, now let's start the tracking our food again. Day 6, okay, let's start making sure that we're getting enough vegetables, whatever your goal is. And each day you start adding in one old habit that you were working on or working towards when you discovered that you kind of weren't on track anymore, or that you kind of got lax on what you knew you were supposed to be doing. So we want to focus on what we can control. Number 6 here, the mental side of this whole process. Don't live in the past. Don't think about what you did wrong. Don't think about what could have been. You know, the whole woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, that's definitely mentally defeating to think about, oh man, if I had just been good this weekend, I'd be 3 pounds lighter. Well, if you want to live in a land of fantasy and fairy tale and then always be depressed in this fantasy land, which seems ironic, then you can do that. Or you focus on the here, the now, the today. What can we do to take action? And here's the important thing to remember when you're going to take action. It doesn't have to be perfect action. Non-perfect action is better than no action at all. What do I mean by non-perfect action? Well, let's say you do 3 days in a row of drinking water good, and you want to make the next focus your protein again like it was. But you didn't meal prep for the weekend, or you only ate, half your protein goal on day 4, but that was more than you did on day 3. So however you can take even the smallest steps towards just practicing doing something to get yourself back on track, the easier it is going to be to get back on the path that you were on before you fell off track. There's a rule of 3. I'm sure or if you haven't noticed that by now, I talk about doing things a lot in 3s, and that's just because our brain, the way we compartmentalize things, the way we, based on science and what we can do, we can handle 3 things mentally, usually, most of us. Any more than that, you're going to set yourself up for massive failure. So the whole starting with 3 days of something simple and just adding 1 every single day, that's why we do that. The faster you get back on track, the easier it is to eventually get yourself to a point where when you fall off track, you're not actually falling off track. And I know that sounds a little weird. So like, if you think of your daily performance in life as you would grade yourself, give yourself an A, B, C, or an F. If you can slowly improve the grade that you give yourself, eventually, even giving yourself a grade of a C is going to be better than what it used to be, because now you used to always be a grade of an F. And if you can slowly get yourself to a point where when you fall off track, your bad days, you're grading yourself a B in how you perform in life when you're not on track, you're still kind of winning. And that's what we want to get you to a point of. You fall off track and 24 hours goes by before you get back on track again. And that's the ultimate long-term goal, is getting you to, you're grading yourself an A or a B every single day in life, and you don't spend a week thinking about how you fell off track and trying to convince yourself, well, okay, let me think about it for a couple days on how I get myself back on track. Let me boost myself back up again. Let me feel bad for a couple days. Then let me tell myself it's okay for a couple days. And let me get really motivated for a couple days. And then a week or 2 has gone by and I'm like, okay, let's do it again. And then you do good for several weeks, a month, and then you fall off track again. But if we can, it's going to happen. You are going to fall off track. I fall off track. Everybody falls off track. But if my fall off track only lasts for 24 hours or a weekend versus several weeks, and you just jump right back on where you were and can get back into those habits right away, then falling off of your path, regardless of what it is, isn't as impactful as it has been before, or as it, might be right now. So yeah, that's our mind, knowledge, thinking, brain stuff today. That was a good sentence. Did you like it? Is that all? Did that make sense? Hopefully not too confusing there. Yeah. So boom, close that out. Yeah, that's how I try to get myself to stay on track and get back on track when I fall off. Hopefully y'all can do that for yourselves. I know that's been a struggle for the past couple of weeks with a lot of people, is feeling like you've fallen off track. So yeah, there you go. Anybody have anything to share, or did I make you think? Do you feel like commenting, or do you just feel like letting it brew in your mind because there was an explosion in your brain on that powerful information there? You can't. It's almost too much to handle. Oh man. Well, okay. If that all made sense and going good for everybody, then man, we have it. Sorry, I'm looking at the Basset. She's so big. We still have no puppies. Like, this is getting ridiculous. She is ginormous. Yeah. Okay. Well, if y'all don't have any questions or comments or anything, if you want to do some thinking about it and message me later, or we'll talk on Monday. I think you're all coming in tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah. No, Amber, what? I'm gonna need you to change your schedule, Amber. Tuesday. Okay, fine. All right, ladies. I appreciate y'all being here, and I will see y'all tomorrow or Tuesday. Bye.